Hello everyone, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today's all about inspiration. That's right, we're talking about inspiration. I feel like SpongeBob. Imagination. Here's the inspiration for today. I got this guy at a thrift store. I actually broke off his little crown. That's not what it's called. It's called something. But I love the way he looked. He is this really cool blue with sort of a white glaze on top. I glued him back together. This is actually sits in my kitchen. But he is the inspiration, since he's the rooster, for this. And what rooster doesn't need a hen? For this lovely lady right here. I've been calling her the Holy Chicken. Not because she's a saint, but because she has these, just the way she's made. She has got holes in her. But I want to paint her the same way that he is. So that's the first one we're going to do today. So I'm going to paint her blue, and we are going to be using Silk all-in-one mineral paint in the color Cape Current. So we're going to do that first, and then, can you see my dog peeking in? And then we're going to do a little white wax on top. I have DIY white wax. So let's get to it. Okay, so let's talk about what you didn't see, which was me getting very upset with myself because I know better. This needed a shellac right here. So the glaze on this Holy Chicken was a little too slick, and I should have known that. I got very upset with myself. So off camera, you didn't see me completely yell at myself and wag my finger. What I did was I cleaned her off, I gave her a little bit of a shellac, and then I painted it with 2 coats of this color blue. So now we're caught up. What I want to do now is I want to do a little bit of white wax. I'm going to be using Debbie's Design Diary white wax. This is DIY. And we're gonna put a little bit on there. So now this is a little different than when I put the paint on. When I put the paint on, I wanted to get it into all these little holes. I don't necessarily want to do that with the wax because I'm afraid it's just gonna get too, you know, clumpy. It feels a little weird to wax around her tushy. Not gonna lie, seems awkward. See, I got that in there, and that is so hard. It's gonna be tough to get out. But just look at how that brings out all the details. Now this is going to look better because we're really going to wipe this back a bit. It tones down that blue color. I like that blue, but sometimes it's a little too intense, I think. And voila. And there she is. I think she looks great. I mean, she doesn't look exactly like my rooster, but she looks pretty good. I can't stop. I love how this wax looks that I keep doing it. I know. So just a couple other things that are gonna go into our Fowl vignette. I got these at a Goodwill. And there's actually another one. So these two, I got these two together. I think it was $3.99. That's going to go in our vignette. Little chickens, roosters. The next piece I really like. So there we go, before I drop it. This rooster is cobalt blue. And almost like a hen on a nest. You can take the body off of the legs. And that also is gonna go in our vignette. I got this from a fellow vendor a couple years ago that was at my shop. I am in the process of downsizing, so I have to get rid of some stuff. And I thought that would look really, really good in our vignette. I like that word, can you tell? I keep saying it, vignette, vignette, vignette. We are now moving on to another project. I have this old cutting board. It has been in my stash for a while. I have already sanded this and I sprayed a little shellac because I'm not making that mistake again. I want to paint this and I have some new colors that I want to try, and I think I'm going to go with this one. This is called I don't have my glasses on. Acadia Pear by Fusion. I also have their French eggshell, but I think I'm going to do the green just because that is a really, I don't know, it's a really pretty green. So we're going to paint this really well, treat it. I have stencils, and I never use stencils, but I think we're going to try them today. And I have one, so you can actually see it, with a chicken and eggs. Now this Farm Fresh doesn't really fit. The other part probably will, this section. And what I'll do is instead of using these words, I can use maybe Farm Fresh in this other one. We're gonna figure that out as we go. First thing I'm gonna do is give this some paint. And we're gonna do both sides. Our cutting board is dry. And now I want to do the stencils on it. I'm not gonna use paint. I'm gonna use some Distress ink. This is Tim Holtz Distress ink. This is Walnut Stain. I am not a good stenciler. What you are about to see is my struggle to complete this task. I had such a wonderful vision in my head when I started this, and it just didn't work out the way I wanted. I've done this technique before. I think that the paint color was just too dark for the Distress ink in the long run. But what you're seeing me do here now is I'm just dabbing on with one of those makeup dabbers that you can get at Dollar Tree. I'm moving the stencil around. I'm thinking right now that I've lined it up correctly and centered it properly, which we'll find out later. That is not true at all. But I'm continuing to press that ink onto the paint and the stencil. I even got out my kit of colored
distress inks. Now I just got this and I was kind of excited to try to blend colors together. I look like an artist, don't I? I have a palette next to me. I'm putting colors together. And I am trying my best to make it look good. And when I first take the stencil off after all of that is done, it actually does look pretty good. The colors look great when it's still wet. It was once it dried, it just didn't look good at all. I end up, after all this is done, flipping the cutting board over and decorating the other side. So at the very least, it's double-sided. So if you didn't like the one side, you could always flip it over to the other side. And then it gives you two options to use. So right here, I decided to paint over the middle section because it was not centered at all. I've now lined up the stencil again on top of those letters, and I'm using a darker distress ink to try to make that a little bit more noticeable. I used a rub-on transfer of a basket with eggs in it. You guys have seen me do rub-on transfers before. I don't need to go into detail on that. And then on either side, I thought it needed something, and I had another stencil that had smaller chickens, so I add those on. It was just one thing after another. I kept trying something, it didn't work. I tried something else to see if it would work, because that's what you do. You keep trying until you think it looks good. When all was said and done, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever made. I mean, did you guys see the pin cushion I made the other week? Ay, ay, ay. I do try to match up the colors again. See, that doesn't look too bad, right?
So I don't know if you guys can see this really well. This is so faint. You can barely see it. So this was a good experiment. Distress inks, I've done it before with a stencil, but on a really light, like an off-white color, and it looked okay. This one is just, you almost can't see it. And then those stars that I painted were almost non-existent. So then I knew I had stars from this rub-on transfer, and I tried to stick them over top. I still do not like how this looks, but for our purposes today, I will put it in our little display. The other side, however, I absolutely love. I even put a little white wax on it, and not much. It was just whatever was left on the brush that I use. And when I eventually move and go to decorate my kitchen, this is gonna go in it. This will probably just hang up in my craft room for now. If you know me, you know I like tea, and this is perfect. This other side is great, but I'm gonna keep it. This does need to get sealed in some way, but finished projects. Our next project is inspired from something I saw on Pinterest, and I will show you the picture of it. I have an old sewing machine drawer, and I've had it for a while and I don't know what to do with it. I actually have used one of these in my kitchen. I put feet on it, and then I use it as sort of a junk drawer. I just kind of throw stuff. It's just a basket of junk. This one, which looks like I didn't clean it, I actually cleaned it already, but it's really beat up. So I have the sewing machine drawer, and if we're looking at that picture, I already have a frame, the little bird in it. I have an old bottle. I have a pack of feathers. You know, with the amount of birds we have here, I couldn't find a feather on the ground. And then I just have other stuff that I've picked up. Let's move this out of the way. The first thing that I want to do with this is that this is just a little too chippy, and I'm afraid it's going to fall apart. So I am going to, see, like, there we go. There's a piece. I'm going to seal this, and hopefully that will cut down on everything that's going on there. And I'm going to just use a polyacrylic. This is a clear matte sealer, and just do the outside because I kind of think I want to paint the inside. Now, I know in the inspiration photo, it's not painted on the inside, but I feel like it'll let everything pop a little more if we do something on the inside. So first things first, I'm gonna seal this. As much as I could, and now I'm going to paint the inside, and we're going to use another new color I got. This is fusion paint called Tapestry. Now it is it's not white, it's definitely like a creamy beige, because I don't want this to be stark white inside, just a little lighter than what it is now. Of course, now that I'm looking at it, I might go so I'm changing this a little bit because I think that is actually too dark. We're gonna go with my old standby drop cloth. This is Dixie Belle, and it is so chunky in here, I kind of want to use it up anyway. And I just think that'll look a little better. If I want to age it, I can age it afterwards. I want to show you some of the things we're going to use inside the shadow box. These are things that Bandit and I have picked up when we're out and about. This is all natural stuff. I have some pine cones. I have really tiny pine cones. These are hickory nuts. This, I can't remember what this is called, but it reminds me of the Dr. Seuss book, When Horton Hears a Who. Doesn't that kind of look like the thing he's holding? This is a horse chestnut. That one I know. So these are the natural things we're going to put in the sewing machine drawer. I also have some unnatural things, some fake eggs. And then because everything is such a neutral color, we're going to put just some little fake faux flowers just to give it a little pop. So let's put this together. This is nice and stuck. I let it sit overnight. Our bottle will go somewhere in this area. I am probably going to glue that down, I think. They can change out the flower if they want, but I think it would be best if we glued that down. I'm just sort of getting an idea of where I want to put things. Well, folks, that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please make sure to subscribe. That's actually the easiest thing you can do to support me. I also have a coffee shop where you can buy me a cup of tea. I will be posting things on there to purchase. But if there is ever anything in one of my videos or photos that I post on social media that you're interested in and you cannot get to the shop, let me know. Reach out to me. If it's something I can safely mail, I will do that. Once I set everything up in my booth and create my vignette, there's got to be another word for that. Someone please comment a synonym for the word vignette. But once I set it up, because I have to do a little rearranging, I will take pictures and I will post them and you can see how that looks. Until we meet again, take care.